I want to talk to you just a few minutes tonight about the verses in the Bible that talks about one another and each other. We call these the one another and each other statements. We've read them a lot. We can remember a lot of them. There's about 100 verses in the New Testament that tells us that what we need to do for each other and for one another. Most of those fall into four main categories. They talk about unity, love, service, and encouragement. And I mention unity first because if we're not unified, it's very difficult for us to love each other and to serve and encourage each other. I read an article a while back about someone that was born in the year 1900. And the reason it got my attention because one of my great-grandmothers was born in the year 1900. And it was talking about what life was like if you was born in the year 1900 and you lived to be 75 years old. So I'm going to read that article to you, and let's just take a few moments just to put things in perspective according to our life right now. On your 14th birthday, World War I begins. Then it ends on your 18th birthday, 4 years later. 22 million people died in the war. Later that same year, the Spanish flu epidemic hits the planet and runs until your 20th birthday. 50 million people die, and 500 million people were infected by the Spanish flu. On your 29th birthday, the Great Depression begins. Unemployment hit 25%, and the world's GDP hit 27%. This runs until you're 33 years old. The country nearly collapses, and the world's economy almost collapses. Then, when you turn 39, World War II starts. On your 41st birthday, the United States is fully pulled into World War II. Between your 39th and your 45th birthday, 75 million people perished in the war. At age 50, the Korean War starts, and 5 million people die. At age 55, the Vietnam War begins and wouldn't end for another 20 years. In that period, 4 million people died in that conflict. On your 62nd birthday, you had to deal with the Cuban Missile Crisis, and it was a tipping point of the Cold War, and it could have easily took down the whole world. And then finally, at age 75, the Vietnam War ends. And I know we're big into labels. We label things, and sometimes it don't really mean a lot. But this generation that lived, that was started in 1900, has been dubbed as the greatest generation. And sometimes it makes you wonder how a generation that went through so many trials and tribulations could have come out and been so strong. And that's when it made me think of Romans 5, verses 3 through 5. And it says, not only this, but we also exult in our tribulations, knowing that tribulations bring about perseverance. And perseverance, proven character. And proven character, hope. And hope does not disappoint because the love of God has poured out within our hearts through the Holy Spirit who was given to us. I think a lot of these people really believed in unity, and they knew that the love and the service and encouragement that they had for each other was essential in order for them to have a thriving community. But the thing that's most important, I think, was their hope and their faith, because they really believed what they was doing was going to make a difference in the world. And I don't want to minimize what some of you are going through with this pandemic. I know some of you have lost loved ones, and some of you have lost dear friends. Some of you have had to deal with the virus, and some of you are dealing with it right now. But as we start to come out from under this virus, let us try to come out stronger. Let us understand the importance of the relationships that we have with one another and for each other. Let us have the hope and the faith that we need in order to bring more people to know Christ. Last week, when Tim was talking about the parable of the lost sheep, I was thinking about this also, how the shepherd would leave his 99 to find the one that was lost. The one that was lost, the one that was separated from the flock, that was the one that was the most vulnerable. I think the shepherd felt comfortable leaving the 99 to go look for the one because he knew that there was strength in numbers. And what did the 99 have? They had each other. They had one another. And they could lean on each other. So tonight, whether you're the one of the 99 or you're the one, I hope we'll take a moment and put things into perspective and look at ourselves in the mirror and ask a very serious question. And we ask ourselves, are we doing what God needs us to do? So if there's anyone here tonight or anyone watching from home that needs prayers in this congregation, I just ask that you either contact the elders or if you're here, that you respond to this invitation tonight as we stand and sing.